and we are delighted to have you on with us online tonight in our online every Monday night to do the business of God. And that business is, of course, being a becoming a disciple as we've been learning Jesus Christ, understanding his word in a more in-depth way, hearing what he has to say through his word. Of course, this is the International Bible Study, Mondays at 6:30 p.m., live streaming to YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. We would love for you to also like and also subscribe to our pages and share the link to your friends. Every morning, Monday through Friday, we, of course, are in devotional hour at 7 a.m. If you would click on the same Zoom link or live stream to Facebook, Monday through Friday for morning prayer and consecration. Start your day off on the right foot with God. Also, we would like to invite you at 7 p.m. tonight to our Men of Valor, which will be, of course, a life application of tonight's lesson in a more subtle way. Application of God. Moment with our women on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. for women of faith, and that's life application in the word also. We also want to remind you about tonight's lesson. It's dated for June 26, always now, by Oswald Chambers. We beseech you that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1. Of course, the grace of God. We always love to talk about the grace of God because the grace of God comes from God. It is unmerited favor. It is God giving us something we do not deserve. Of course, anything from God that is benefit, which is we deserve his wrath, we deserve punishment, we deserve the full effect of our sin. And that's one thing about salvation is we do not get the full effect of our sin. Yes, there are consequences that we that we know this the famous verse that bad seed of retribution you shall receive that. And so tonight we're talking, of course, about grace. Grace is not reaping what we sow. Grace is actually reaping when God has us on our behalf, and it is not reaping what we deserve. We don't deserve what God has planted for us. Okay, and so we're talking about, of course, all of the aspects of grace. Okay, spiritual, and also the elimination of destruction of sin in our lives. And so then we hear in the context of this verse, and we have, of course, we'll look at more than one verse than verse 1. But then this whole unit, this section, this of especially verse 1 and 2 are talking about the sufficiency of grace moment by moment, that we're in constant need of grace. Okay, and so the grace you had yesterday will not do for today because we are in constant need of grace. Every we take, every moment, God, God is offering additional grace. The grace that we had for the last second will not do for this second because God is constantly is different. And so God, think about it, is prescribing grace for every moment. Okay? So when you were almost uh deserving of being hit by the car, and God great gave you God will grant you favor. He will grant you favor by not only giving you mercy to see. Somebody said, uh, put it this way: you can always reckon it is there to draw upon. In afflictions, in necessities. Okay, so we have all of these aspects coming to play as a child of God receiving grace. Okay, is there to draw upon in much patience in dealing with situations that we're waiting on the Lord, and God gives you grace just to wait on him and be grace when